What goes on in the locker room stays in the locker room.
You don't have to talk to Syracuse quarterback Ryan Nassib long to know that this guy is careful about what he says.
Really. That's really all I know.
He doesn't like his words being put under the media microscope, like in January when he said being drafted by the Buffalo Bills and playing for his former head coach Doug Marrone would be a match made in heaven. Now when I ask if there's an NFL team he'd like to be drafted to, he censors himself.
Not really, no. I got in trouble a few times already for that, so I gotta watch what I say.
Nassib isn't going to be one of those outspoken NFL players.
Stage. Cool stuff. I'm sorry. I gotta stop cursing.
It's likely he won't be a T.O. or an Ocho Cinco type when he enters the league in April.
He's kind of like a quiet assassin. He doesn't say much, but he'll lead by example. And, I mean, he did a pretty good job for 5 years doing that. And a lot of guys respect that about him, that he's not a rah-rah kind of guy and kind of, all right, we'll just go put it on the field.
Cool.
Despite being perceived as the strong, silent type, friends say when Nassib is comfortable, he's a bit more audible.
Like, you don't think he'd be funny, but like when you know him, like he's funny.
Trying to get Nassib to show his lighter side, I ask him an offbeat question. Which Entourage character are you?
I am not Drama, not Turtle, not Vinny, so I guess I'm me.
You'd expect a future NFL quarterback to be most like leading man Vinny Chase, but Nassib sees himself as the micromanaging, business-minded E. Which makes sense, as Nassib is working to get his master's in accounting at Syracuse's acclaimed Whitman School of Management.
He'd probably get done running, come back, eat, and he would just do schoolwork till he fell asleep. So he's really dedicated to his schoolwork.
Having won multiple academic awards, Nassib doesn't fit the standard jock stereotype. One of his favorite targets at Syracuse, wide receiver Alec Lemon, says the QB applies his smarts to his game.
He knows the ins and outs of the football. He knows coverages, he can identify pressures and all that stuff. I was sitting with him in the film actually, and he was just the way he was picking up front so easily is incredible.
Another thing Nassib has studied well are his NFL idols, like Drew Brees.
I've been watching his cut-ups since Marrone got here, so I just try to do what Drew does.
And his hometown hero, Matt Ryan.
You know, he's just a Philly kid who made it, so hopefully he'll be part two.
He may not have mentioned Eli Manning, but his on-field demeanor much reflects easy ease.
You never really see him flustered at all on the field. If you just watch him play, you probably couldn't tell if we were up by like 30 or down by 30. Just always like the same even keel and calm.
Right now, Nassib is practicing for his pro day, which will be his last big chance to impress NFL coaches and staff. He's impressed his coaches and teammates at Syracuse since he joined the Orange in 2008. One of his most notable attributes is his leadership, a skill essential for any quarterback hoping to be successful in the NFL.
He's the first one in, last one out. You know, he's going to catch the kids that are acting up and kind of get them straight. He's not one that's going to boast and brag, like I said, and that's something that you want in a leader, that one that is not going to say, it's me, 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 and he's about the team.
Nassib's close-knit family has played a big role in keeping his ego in bounds. Game day is truly a family affair. Nassib had the pleasure of playing with his younger cousin Joey, a cornerback on the SU football team, for the past 3 seasons.
Yeah, so that's me and Ryan at the game.
It's been crazy. I mean, all our family comes up. Our grandmother has a homemade jersey of 12 on the back and his number, or 12 on the front, and his number on the back. And
she has like to pick sides between us, so she usually just splits us down the middle.
Our dads are brothers, and I swear that's all they do all day is just talk Cuse football.
Every time we leave the locker room, they're all congregating together, and all they do is just talk about the game for hours and hours on end.
When the family isn't talking football, they're playing it.
If you didn't play football, you're sort of like a black sheep.
Nassib's dad, Gilbert, played quarterback in college. His brother, Carl, plays defensive end at Penn State. And his brother, John, a high school junior, plans to play college ball in 2 years.
I'm the little one in the family. I got 2 of my brothers. They're both 6'6", like 240.
The 6'2", 230-pound quarterback has fond memories of the Nassib family football games at the Jersey Shore.
It got vicious, man. We were brawling in the hot sand and stuff. But my dad never got up from his chair. He always sat in his chair and played quarterback.
His passion for football isn't the only thing Nassib inherited from his dad. He also intercepted his superstitious tendencies.
That's where I get it from. My dad parks in the same spot, sits next to the same person. He'll go to this one bar and make sure my sister's boyfriend's next to him, and we got some weird, there's some weird stuff going on.
I'd like to say I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
This is where the quarterback's personalities differ. Nassib is superstitious.
I think it's just superstition.
Team manager Aaron Rudy has observed this behavior over the past 4 years.
After the team drills, he does a bunch of different stuff. He does a layup over the crossbar. He's particular about the amount of steps he takes, and he's superstitious in every way, more than anybody I've ever met.
One thing, he wears his socks inside out. I never got that. I never asked him why. It's just a superstition.
The article of clothing Nassib's most superstitious about was actually handed off to him from a former teammate. He still remembers getting his lucky shirt.
And it was cold gear, and it was sleeveless, and one of my superstitions, I don't wear sleeves. So I was like, oh, this is nice. It kept my torso warm, and then it didn't have sleeves on, so I was like, all right.
4 years later, and the shirt is still in his lineup.
It's like it was a white Under Armour. Now it's completely brown. And
you never wash it?
Oh, I wash it. I wash it every day. I mean, I'm just saying, no matter the weather, I always, it could be snowing outside, so I always have the same shirt on.
It's hard to predict when Ryan Nassib will be called on draft day, but it's safe to assume he'll be wearing his now brown shirt and his socks inside out. In Syracuse, I'm Ashley Iaconetti, NCC News.
There you go.